yours. And this is our game. It's our time. And here's the guy's trying to take it from us. So that makes this shit personal.
Yes, sir. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Sunday Nights Talking Bama. I'm your host tonight, JB, with my co-host, Herb the Better Rags there. JT can be with us tonight. He will be back next week. So we got two brothers up here today. We're going to rock it out and talk a lot of Bama football for everybody in the chat. We already got Roll Ties in the chat. Herb, how you doing, brother?
Man, when I saw you send out that text message in the thread saying you was taking over the show and dropping all the dead weight, I'm just happy that you allowed me to stick around, bro. So I appreciate you, and I'm ready for tonight.
It didn't exactly go like that, bro. But, you know, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
If anybody takes what I say as the truth, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, we all know her is the biggest BSer on the network.
It's why y'all keep me around for some reason.
Yeah, but we love them. We love them. So, and we love everybody in the chat. I see a lot of Roll Ties. Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We got a great show tonight. We want a lot of chat participation because we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. And what we're like seven weeks from is it 7 or 6 weeks from kickoff?
For us, it is 7 and like 6 for that week 0. Is that what it is?
We don't.
I've been at the beach all week, man. My timing is all off.
We don't acknowledge week 0. We acknowledge when Alabama starts in 48 days. Thank you. 48 days, and it's going down. So before we get started tonight, man, we got to shout out our sponsors. First off, Title Tower, you see it. I know you got yours on you. I got mine on me. Keep it on us. You know, for all the fans, if you don't have one of these and you want to support your Crimson Tide 24/7, 365, get you a Title Towel. Go to whitwillsports.com. Use the promo code Standard. Get you a nice discount courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standard. Also, for our main sponsor, have you ever dreamed of having beautiful natural stone in or around your home? Don't settle for subpar material. Check out Lambstone's selection of natural stones to meet all your project needs. Located in Oneonta, Alabama, is one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them today. Tell them that we sent you by using the code TheBamaStandard and get 10% off your first order. That's realrockstone.com right there. Visit them after the show to get all your Lambstone Real Rock Stone needs. All right. Under 50 days away, y'all. It's about that time. We got 3 main topics for tonight. There's a lot of noise out there about these recruits using Bama for leverage, NIL for leverage. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Bama flexing. Yeah, flexing on Auburn in the recruiting. And will a SEC player win the Heisman this season? So we got all that to talk about. First things first, Herb, good to have you, man, and the boys. You running the show tonight, so that's always good. I think we got tribal chief Justin Riley behind the scenes as well. So in case anybody messes up anything, we can blame.
Somebody messes up, we blame it Justin. Yeah,
we're gonna blame it on Justin Riley.
Okay, yeah. If it goes smooth, then I'll tell you I did it. So
okay, cool. All right, so first topic, man, is Coach DeBoer in Alabama applying pressure and flexing on Auburn during this recruiting season right here. 2026 class taking shape. You know, we got a lot of great talent. I think we're in the top 5 right now, if I'm not mistaken. I know Florida picked up some big recruits this weekend.
Right.
A lot of noise about KJ Ford coming to Bama smoke screen. We'll talk about that later. But the top 5 class taking shape right now. And it was some comments made by AJ McCarron on this past week. He said Hugh Freeze is full of crap, pretty much. Because Herb, what was the comments Hugh Freeze made? I don't have them on me. Do you know what Hugh Freeze
he basically said that they were doing recruiting the right way, and basically alluded to August 1st, a lot of these classes falling apart. But he He didn't necessarily say, though, hey, Auburn's going to scoop all these people up. But he said Auburn is recruiting things the right way and it'll shake out later, blah, 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 hope for the future kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the thing about it, man, is everybody thinks Hugh Freeze is full of crap. It's not just AJ McCarron, but shout out to him for actually saying it on his podcast. So my question for everybody in the chat, and I'm gonna start with what you heard since we just brought this up. Is Bama flexing on Auburn? How big is this right here that Bama is out recruiting Auburn? Kalen DeBoer coming in his second season as head coach at Alabama. Hugh Freeze is behind right now. He's been on the golf course. Is he feeling pressure? Do you think Hugh Freeze is feeling pressure because Kalen DeBoer is out here with a top 5 class this summer?
Absolutely. There's so many points. I'm not gonna try to hit all of them because I gotta leave some there. So there's a couple things, right? The whole Husky Harsin jokes before he got here, right? And now DeBoer is hitting it. That's got to be number one. You guys had your chance with an out of town, out of state guy, non-SEC guy, right? Crashed and burned. Now ours is what? And people act like hey, this year it's been great. He was number 3 last year in recruiting. He's just getting started. So that's already there. You've lost 5 Iron Bowls. You missed the bowl again last year, and what was on a down year for Alabama, you still haven't gained any ground, right? One thing that we said on this show last year, right? You have to make better inroads with in-state recruiting, right? They're hitting it hard. I mean, Scenario Morgan, he from Alex City. That's 45 minutes from Auburn, 30 minutes if you got a Georgia player driving you. So that's right in y'all backyard. You got to you getting out recruited in those kind of spots, right? Now it's you almost have to, if you're Auburn, make the playoffs this year, right? For Freeze to keep his job. Like, don't you have to get close to overcome the recruiting? One of two things. You either have to make the playoffs, right?
Right.
Or come August 1st, every top 10 class better fall apart. You better pick up half of those players and vault up there. Because if there's not fireworks on August 1st, people are really like, what have you been doing all year? Besides, like they say, working on your golf game.
I heard the money, the reason they saying August 1st, I heard it from the streets. So don't quote me on this, that the bag man delivers on August 1st. Yes. So maybe they're waiting on the bag man. I don't know. I mean, I heard it from the street. Don't quote me. But with all that noise and that propaganda being thrown out there that, okay, you guys are waiting for players to flip. That seems a little desperate to me because I want guys that want to commit to us, that want to commit to their script A, that want to commit to the school, the coaches, not commit to the bag. Because let's be honest here. It's money all over the place, right? Everybody has money. Like we mentioned week after week here, the schools can now pay these players. You don't have to worry about going on outside sources. We got money now. The schools got money, can pay them directly. Having those outside sources, those NIL deals are great. It adds to what you already have. But if you're waiting on such and such to decommit, or you're waiting on him to commit, then we can find out what Bama's paying them, and we can go up the ante a couple $100,000, hoping to get player such and such. Then you're recruiting all wrong. That's not how you recruit.
Yes.
And I know fans, and it's probably people that's out there that probably think, look at Ohio State. They bought them a team last year, right? But if I can remember Ohio State, they bought the team, but they built that team in the offseason. They didn't get a bunch of guys who decommitted from other schools. They brought in the right people. They took Caleb Downs from us. Props to them. And, you got an incredible guy, Jeremiah Smith, and you got the right quarterback for that system. You got Quinshawn Junkins, So they built that team in the offseason.
Yeah.
But far as what Auburn's talking about and Hugh Freeze and all these talking about August 1st, man, listen, man. August 1st, we getting ready for game 1.
Yeah.
We ain't worried about no damn recruit. I mean, it's good. You got to get your recruit out the way in June and July. That's how I feel about it. June, July, you go strong. About time we get this part, you've been through your summer conditioning. August, we ready to play ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all worried about. We try to work. We worry about Florida State.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze is that guy who goes to the club with no date and he waiting to see who breaks up with him so he can go home with him that night. That's Hugh Freeze right now. You can't. That's no way to build a class. It's like you said it perfectly, man. You got to put in some work ahead of time, because are you telling me that you were in the top 3 for all these guys that you lost, and you're going, no, but if you're not even in the top 3, top 5 for all these guys, what's going to make them decommit from there and all of a sudden pick Auburn? Like, what makes you think that you're jumping up that list? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost like he I don't know, man. If you got a script writer or whatever, a speech writer, like, fire that person, because that's not the comment that should have come out of your mouth. You know,
it was bad. It was bad all the way around.
Auburn. Yeah, I agree. We have some close friends that are Auburn fans, and that's what one of them's already said fire him. The other one, Sadie, she said August 1st better be a great day. She said, like, because she said I better see a whole lot August 1st, because otherwise I don't know what to do. So it's wild. It just makes it look, and then you add the golf on top of it. It just makes it look worse. Yeah, it just makes it look so much worse. And perception is everything in this game.
And you got Lane Kiffin out here trolling them. You know, Lane post something this morning. He was out there yacht fishing or something like that. And he's
been posting his golf scores and stuff.
Yeah. Like, we know Lane is the ultimate troller, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, Hugh Freeze. The only thing I'm seeing on social media about Auburn and Hugh Freeze is golf updates and things like that. Yeah. But not to talk about Auburn, the whole segment and everything. I feel like Coach DeBoer, we say this, we've been saying this for the past few weeks. Yes, he's out here flexing, but what I said, because last year I was disappointed that Auburn beat us in recruiting in state, and I wanted to see that change. And for us to get to Darian Morgan now the big fish in the pond out there is old Tank Jones. Yes. Everybody saying, well, Tank gonna go. People ask me every time, every chance they get, is Tank coming to Bama? What you know? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't know a damn thing. Okay, I don't know if Tank is gonna go to Bama, Auburn, Oregon. I don't know. What's the other school out there? Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They and that's an interesting one, because they've shown might not have the overall class, but we're gonna throw money at some key people just to get them there. So you can't underestimate that, man. We've been in chats, we've seen it where somebody was like, hey, such is coming, such is coming. And last minute they go, hey, never mind, they're not coming. You're talking about 17, 18-year-olds and a lot of money. You know until you don't know.
That's right. And you got schools out there, like Oregon, and some of these schools are for leverage, right? Because if you want to keep a kid, especially an in-state kid, it's going to be schools out there leeching. They're going to leech. They're going to throw the bag at these kids, especially a Tank Jones out. 5-star talent. He, like I say, the big fish in the pond. So they're going to come. They're going to come trying to offer this and this and this. But like I also mentioned, we want a guy that want to play for Bama, man. The relationships are still important. Where the people they can look at, okay, you look at the NIL numbers, that's cool, But the relationships with these coaches, just like Darian Morgan said, the relationship he had with Coach Shep, what I'm saying? That means a lot. And these parents, the relationship with the parents, the coach's parent, recruit, all of that is a great relationship that needs to be formed and had. NIL money is gonna come, all that to come to the table. So regardless of what other people may think, that the relationships matter a lot. They mean a lot too. Yes. So I see some questions in the chat. We're gonna get to y'all questions in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all get them. We're gonna get to them at the end of the show. But yes, Bama is flexing on Auburn. We're flexing on all these other schools that's below us. I see Stephen M. Smith in the chat.
What's up?
If you want to come on, Stephen M., come on if you can. But if not, that's fine. So, yes, and from what I heard, KJ Ford was never going to Bama. We were used as leverage. Speaking of leverage, that leads us into our next topic. Okay, the NIL, the Bama leverage, or are they bluffing? It's the Bama bluff. Okay, so some of these recruits, they list Bama in the top 5, right? List them in the top 5, even if they don't plan on going, or they'll take a visit to Bama. Right. And it seems like when they do that, that the NIL value goes up. Sometimes, Bama holds so much weight, and I see people saying that because Nick Saban left, it killed the luster, but that's a damn lie. Because you'll see players that's a 3-star, they get Bama in the top 5, they become a 4-star, or a 4-star commits to Bama, becomes a 5-star. So, I mean, come on, y'all know Bama is the big school, the big bully around the block. We haven't won a championship in 5 years, but that name still holds more weight than almost any other school in the so-called NCAA, whatever we want to call it. So, but it works because Bama interest, it signals elite status for players.
Right.
Other schools are panicked, and they're sweetening the NIL packages. And it stirs the fan base. It's crazy. It's called a Bama bump. And you see that a lot. It's kind of like when you're up, let's say you up and you got this nice car, right? You got this nice ride, and it's called market value. And you got this nice, and it's not a brand new car, it's a pre-owned, and it's real nice and luxurious. And you have to keep certain things up to keep the market up. But you got people that want to bid on to come take it from you. Not trying to compare these players to cars, but you know how it works. You put such and such in this market, everybody's gonna come after them. So, Herb, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I think Stephen M is in the chat. I mean, about to jump on. So let's bring Stephen M on. Herb, go ahead and tell me what you think about these players using Bama for leverage.
First of all, what's up, Stephen? How you doing, sir?
What's up, brother?
Hey man, guys, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm not gonna be on the whole time, but I did just want to give my thoughts here. I'm picking up my daughter in Mississippi, but
okay. Well, you go first.
Man, I'll say this: we are seeing this on the recruiting trail that a lot of guys are using that Bama Leverage for NIL. That they're trying to get a bigger bag from a different school that they're trying to pursue, but what this speaks to, guys, and JB, you mentioned earlier, Bama's getting the kids that want to come to Bama again. That's the main thing. And this is kind of the weeded out process. You saw Cedarian Morgan mention, hey, this is the only place I ever want to come to. You're starting to see Xavier Crowell say the same thing. Bama was the only place I really want to go to. KJ Ford, I know I saw some rumblings that he was projected to go to Alabama. Now it's trying to be kind of a bidding war there between other programs, but we already kind of knew that. Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan are doing an outstanding job reestablishing the state of Alabama. Of the 19 verbal commitments, 9 are from this state. 9. And you got a chance at 10 with Big Tank Jones from Mobile, from St. Paul's Episcopal. So you have some players out there that are using the Bama brand for leverage in terms of NIL. You do see that, but you see more so of Courtney Morgan understanding who to put the NIL to and who not to put the NIL to.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense from you, Steven. You know about this stuff. Glad you came to put your 2 cents on. Heard what you thinking about it.
So, and one part of it that honestly helps you get the Bama bump is how well we're doing in recruiting right now. So a recruit can say, hey, Bama's got a top 5 guy. They've got the most 5 stars already. I'm thinking about going there. If you're another school, you think we can't let Bama get another guy. We can't, especially in SEC. That's why you're losing out a lot of these guys to other SEC schools, because they're saying, look, we were saving a certain allotment here, but now we're going to break the bank right here because we can't let Bama get another guy.
Mm-hmm.
So your recruiting class works against you in certain ways. I won't say works against you because the guys that you're getting outbid for are not necessarily the guys you targeted anyway. They were kind of more like, hey, it'd be nice to get this guy, but he wasn't like on the top of our list. Like you kind of alluded to, Courtney Morgan didn't say, okay, this wasn't one of our must-haves. We built better relationships with other guys. Our class has been filled out a little bit better, so we don't have to worry about every single person. And let me also say this. Look, again, if I was 17, 18, and I was going to the highest bidder, I mean, more power to you, And the schools you're going to, they're not slouches. We're not getting outbid by Miami of Ohio, or Mississippi State for peace. At least you go into teams that might have a halfway decent shot, but more power to you. But it's definitely real. Bama's not the only school. I mean, because you just mentioned in their Oregon being used for leverage too. So we're not the only school, but there is a huge bump when you're doing well in recruiting and you have that big brand that Alabama is. Yeah, teams are actually absolutely going to use you to get more money.
I'm gonna say this, guys, before I hop out here. I'm gonna say this. So I think the biggest thing is also they're not just getting for Bama. Bama's not just getting just the 5 stars. They're getting back to getting the number 1 guys, not just at the state, but also at their position. You look at Cedarian Morgan, top guy, number 1 in his position. Xavier Correll, top guy, one of the best in his position. They're getting back to the number 1 guys. And then another thing, even with some of the 3 and 4 stars that Bama's getting, they're getting back to getting a lot of those dogs. Kamarian Johnson's a dog. They're getting back to getting those guys that I got to get it by any means necessary. Getting back to getting those types of players that they hungry for it, like they real hungry for it. So, like Herb said, the guys that Bama did not get, those were kind of the luxury guys. It'd be cool if we get them, but that's a luxury. That's like an extra Benjamin Franklin in the bag. We didn't really need it, but that's an extra Ben Franklin in the bag. But the guys that were needs from the get-go, the guys that were on the top of the board from the get-go, Bama has gotten those guys.
Yeah.
So, Steven, I got one question to throw to you before you leave. Okay. Do you think Bama needs Tank Jones?
I think so. And I think so because he's an in-state kid. Keep in mind that in-state kid and that in-state linebacker is so important. You look at it, the championships have started with those in-state linebackers. You go back to Rolando McClain. You got him from in-state Decatur, Alabama. You got C.J. Mosley, in-state Theodore, Alabama. You got Reggie Ragland, in-state Madison, Alabama. You got Reuben Foster, Rashawn Evans. The list goes on. Tank Jones understands being a national championship linebacker leading this program in-state's a big deal. He gets that history. So I feel like you need Tank in that sense.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And a lot of fans will probably agree with you as well, Steven. Herb, you think we need Tank?
Yeah, I think we need Tank. I think especially from a perspective of losing, KJ Ford, so many people have said it already. Oh, I think we lost him to go get Tank. So it feels like you're kind of pressing to where, Now, look, is the class going to fall apart if you get him? No. But it's almost like I want him, so now I think we need him. If that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Steven, you say you got to get out of here, brother?
Yeah, man, I've been around on out of here, but I just wanted to come on to give my 2 cents on this conversation because it's been great. And just to round this out, it's like Herb said, if you like the fact that you didn't get KJ Ford as of right now because he's looking at other programs, it stings a little. But I feel like if you get Tank, not only does that make up for not getting KJ Ford, but you get another in-state kid. I mean, that's where the weight is. Because last year, Hugh Freeze beat Bama in-state recruiting. Yep. Auburn beat Alabama. Yep. Now you get Tank. That's 10 kids to 1 for Kalen DeBoer. That's 10 to 1. So even if you don't get KJ Ford, if you get Tank, you are whooping Hugh Freeze's tail in terms of in-state recruiting. And I think Bama Nation is perfectly fine with that. They're perfectly fine. You get Tank, the Bama Nation goes, okay, Kalen DeBoer has put a border around this state. Now it looks like how Nick Saban started off in recruiting 07, 08 by putting a border around the state of Alabama and making those in-state kids feel like they are a priority.
Yes, sir. Exactly, man. And that's what we want. I know last week we kind of hyped up the chat talking about is Kalen DeBoer out recruiting Saban, and that's just to get y'all to pay attention. No, he's not out recruiting Saban, but he's on a good trajectory to be. If he stays and we keep winning, yes, he's on the right path right now because look at what he's doing, 2nd year in a row.
Yeah, and it all boils down to guys. Bama with this team coming up here, veteran team, nothing but veterans. Bama with this team, they get to the college football playoff Now these kids were saying Bama is still Alabama football. We were waiting to see what is this program removed from Saban. DeBoer gets this group here to the college football playoff. Recruits are like, okay, I'm coming to Tuscaloosa. I now see Bama is still Alabama football. So this season's going to be a big season right here. But DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, this has been phenomenal. And not many people are giving enough credit to Christian Robinson. Bama's outside linebackers coach has been on a heater. He got a Kamarian Johnson. He got the Jamarian Matthews kid. He got Xavier Griffin. He's working on Nick Abrams II. He's working on Tank Jones. Like, Christian Robinson's been on a heater getting these kids.
Yes, sir. Hey, good shout out right there, Steven, because a lot of people don't realize Christian Robinson is doing a great job.
I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job. And this is somebody that coached at Georgia. He coached at Auburn. He played in the SEC. Christian Robinson's been on a heater. He's been on a heater.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So hopefully, man, we lock down Tank Jones. That probably solidify us at the top 5 class right there. It should. Another 5-star on the board. So Bama right now, man, and Hugh Freeze, I don't want to hear nothing about Hugh or Freeze because it's BTA. Okay.
Yes.
And if you don't know what BTA, I see Chris Williams in the chat. Welcome back, my brother. But you absolutely delusional, you know. But we love to have you on. We love to have you in the chat, Chris Williams. So Stephen L, man, good to have you on, brother. We're gonna let you ride out. What can the people find you? Everybody know, but tell them again.
They can find me at Coaching M. Smith right there on the exit. Coaching M. Smith, man. Got Bama Vision here on Wednesday. Getting myself cooked up, prepared for that. You know, people, I know y'all been asking, y'all been wondering, you know, where is Stephen been the last few things of talking Bama? I'm telling you, I'm preparing, man, for this baby. You know, wife is 5 months pregnant right now, 5 months. The baby, we talk about Iron Bowl baby. It's almost here. So me being a dad, I'm getting myself prepared for this. So this is why you haven't seen me as frequently. I'll be making my appearances, but the reason why you haven't seen me as frequently is I'm getting the father side of myself even more prepared.
Hey man, it's a blessing, brother. It's a blessing. Boy, you having a boy or a girl?
Right now, man. Hey, we gonna find out. We gonna find the reveal is this weekend.
What?
Coming weekend.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. We can stream it live on the Bama Standard if you want.
That's my first question.
That's what Raj wants. That's literally what Raj has been asking for. So we gonna try. We gonna try to not have Raj hyperventilating.
Okay.
You know, Raj saw one of his videos that said, "Hey, you gonna start doing gender reveals?" And that's where this all came from. So I'm down.
I see Tribal Chief Justin already saying the baby already got a fresh prescription. Chill out, Justin.
Yes.
Baby
gonna come out with glasses. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, come out with glasses, screaming, "Roll Tide!"
Hey, gonna come out with glasses and a whole journalism kit.
Yes, sir. That baby gonna have a set of vocal cords on him or her. I tell you that, boy. Man. Well, good to have you, Stephen, man. You know, we'll see you on Bama Standard.
All right, man. Hey, y'all take it easy, fellas.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you, Stephen.
Always good to have Stephen M. Smith come on, man. You know, even if it's for a little bit, Stephen always brings some enlightens the conversation. He always does, you know.
Yes,
you know, him and his 4 eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Hey.
Hey,
Steve, get the BWG on you.
Stephen, good people. He good people. But we're gonna move on to before we move to the next topic. I saw a lot of KJ Ford in the chat, and I think that was Jag. She said she was thanking us for clearing up the KJ Ford situation. Right. But what I saw that was interesting is on that graphic, was that Friday when he committed to Florida? I think it was
Friday or Saturday. It was Friday. It was one of the
I think it was Friday evening. But on the graphic, he had his top teams, and then they had a question mark. Like everybody knew that question mark was Bama. Right. And then the news came out and say, okay, it's Florida. But that's what we call using Bama for leverage, because we wasn't originally in the top 4. it just happened like overnight, and a buzz, like it was like a buzz, and then all of a sudden you go to Florida. So I mean, players do it. I ain't mad at you. Get your money, however.
Get your money. Get your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ain't mad at you, man. But if you're my cousin, like Steve Brown would say, break your ball off, son. Cousin. Hey, when you're a cousin, you ask to borrow money, you ain't got to pay it back.
Yeah.
I got plenty of cousins that owe me money, but it is what it is. So so before we move on to our next topic, and if you got any questions, y'all put it in the chat. We're gonna get to it at the end of the show. But you got to get you a title towel, man. So shouts out to the good people at whitwheelsports.com. We keep ours on deck. I will have mine at Saban Field. Brian Denny. Actually, I will be in Tallahassee for the first game against Florida State, and I'm taking mine to Tallahassee with me.
Same here. We'll see you there.
You going too?
Yeah, me and Ron's going.
Oh, I need to get out with y'all. Okay, we'll talk about this off the air. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to be there with Title Towers on deck. Make sure you go to whitwheelsports.com. Use the promo code STAND to get you a nice discount, courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standards. Shouts out to the good folks over there, man. All right, so we got one more topic before we get to y'all questions. And this topic, Herb actually came up with this one. Will we have an SEC player win the Heisman Trophy this season? All right, so man, my mind is blown. Who won the Heisman last year, brother?
What's the name from Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter, okay. So
yeah.
I'm thinking Jaden Daniels. That was 2 years ago. Okay. So we had Jaden Daniels 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm so thrown off, bro. I mean, it's only been a few months, but I forgot. So Travis Hunter last season, which ain't nobody mad at that. It could have been him or Ashton Genty, but I think the right person won. This season, all right, these are the preseason front runners for Heisman. You got Arch Manning, which I said weeks ago. You might as well just go ahead, give him the trophy before season starts, because everybody, if you talk to Paul Feinbaum, Arch Manning is the best thing since Peyton Manning. If you talk to to Feinbaum. But like I say, we'll see. Arch is the leader, the front runner, betting odds of plus 600, plus 700 odds, projected to be the starter. He played in a few games last season for Texas, but we're going to see what he does this season. At number 2, you got Garrett Nussmeier from LSU, quarterback, threw over 4,000 yards, returning with a strong team. A lot of noise about him out there. So I'm not impressed with Nussmeier, but LSU people are impressed with him. And apparently, the odds of the Heisman, he's second. So that means people are high on Garrett Nussmeier. Number 3, you got Cade Kublik, quarterback from Clemson.
Yep.
Yes. Threw for 3,600 plus yards, 36 touchdowns last year. He's high. He came back for a reason. I think he's going to be a great quarterback in that system. And Jeremiah Smith is 4 in the Heisman odds. Wide receiver, Ohio State. He's the only non-quarterback in the top 5. He had a great 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got a great season last season. 1,300 yards, 15 touchdown catches, won a national championship. We all know that. He's probably, ain't no problem in it. He is the best wide receiver in college football. Only Ryan Williams, I believe, will be up for debate in that situation.
Right.
But yeah, Jeremiah Smith, I will give him that. And the 5th best odds go to Drew Aller, quarterback, Penn State. He led them to the college football playoff, has strong stats. He's got weapons around him. They are poised to get back to the playoffs and make another run.
Right.
All right. So with those top 5, and we got some high upside contenders, meaning that they can bring their odds up with great play. DJ Lagway, man, from Florida. He had a late season surge when he got in the game. Injuries really held him back, but Lagway is going to be a great player. He had Florida up, they're trending upward because of DJ Lagway. So I think he's poised to have a great season. Number 7, you got Lenore Sellers, quarterback from South Carolina. I haven't played the college football game, but I saw somebody tweet that Lenore Sellers look like prime Mike Vick on on the college football game. So I mean, dual threat quarterback. Everybody know he should be great this season, and South Carolina is picked by a lot of people to go to the playoffs because of Lenore Sellers.
Right.
So John Mateer, he's another one, quarterback for Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yes. Kevin Jennings, another quarterback from SMU. And then you have Ryan Williams, who had the breakout season. But we expect Ryan Williams to be great this year. And I don't want to put a lot of pressure on Ryan Williams, but he said it himself. He said, I want to win the Heisman. So we're going to be watching you with fine glasses on, with some Stephen M's on, and see if you get up to standard and win that Heisman. So Ryan Williams, yes, the pressure's on you, but you put it on yourself.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Out of all those people, especially the SEC players, give me 3 SEC guys you could see winning the Heisman.
All right. And so first, one of the points you made in the middle of that, you could tell it's a quarterback's award, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can look at the top 15 and maybe see 2 non-quarterbacks. That's already wild. And to the exact point, can an SEC player win it? Yes, because you look at your schedule, you look at the high-profile games. All these guys that we're talking about, because somebody mentioned in there, it's way too early for Heisman odds. Yeah, but you have to have something to talk about in the offseason, right? So you're going to play enough high-profile games, and you're going to find out who these players are, right? So you have to start with Arch. I hate to that's the layup one. I mean, look at how he starts the season. You already think about the Ohio State game and the Georgia game. 2 of the best games that you're going to play this year. You're going to know who Arch is, right? Their schedule's kind of weak otherwise. So I see it terrible. Let's say terrible game against Ohio State, but then you got so many buffer games in between, you know what I mean, to where you can pad stats. So that's why Arch could have a great year. People talk about Cade Klubnik in there, but I'm not a huge Clemson guy, but I think the ACC is weak, so that's why you could. But keeping it to the SEC, right? You got to go with your top 2, right? Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier, right? I'm gonna skip down, and I'm gonna say Lenora Sellers would be my number 3 from the SEC because, similar to like Jane Daniels, mobile quarterbacks can pad those stats with those rushing yards and those rushing touchdowns. And if that's something he can stay steady, Alabama's coming to town, that's going to be a huge game, along with the rest of their schedule. If he can show out in a game like that, get them to the SEC championship, get them to the playoffs, especially at a school like South Carolina, that's going to carry more weight. If South Carolina and Texas ended with the same record, you're going Lenora Sellers because you're like, well, I expected that from Arch. You know what I mean? I expected that from Texas. I didn't expect that from South Carolina. So if you said who would have a chance, like when people saying why Arch, this isn't about me saying who's the most talented. This is me saying who's going to have an opportunity to prove it and get there. Those guys have the brands. They have, because we know it's a popularity contest too.
Right.
They have the brands and they have the schedules when you kind of go with Nussmeier and you go with Arch. Lenora Sellers is kind of my dark horse out of those 3. Now, I'll make this one quick. Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams have a great chance because this team will be more balanced. But it's an uphill battle for a wide receiver. Okay? We already saw that. We had to have maybe the greatest offense that we've had at Alabama to get a wide receiver to win the Heisman, okay? But if Ty is steady, he'll have a shot. But he has to have some spectacular moments. They want a Heisman moment. If Ty is capable of that here or there, especially in some games, if he has a great game at Georgia, he'll work himself. Somebody said by game 5, if he has a great game at Georgia, that will shift the conversation. So
yeah. Great points, Herb. And we just saw Devontae Smith win the Heisman at Bama. He had a spectacular season, and you will have to have one of those Devontae Smith-like seasons to win the Heisman, especially with all these quarterbacks in the mix, and the Arch, and like you mentioned, Lenore's and Nussmeier, and so many other guys up there. If Ryan Williams goes crazy and has damn near 2,000 yards, and
he got a chance.
Yeah, he got a chance. Even Jeremiah Smith, he could go bonkers. You know what I'm saying? But
can I say something on that one real quick about the Smith versus Williams argument? Yeah, Smith should be rated as the number 1 wide receiver in college football. I don't think that's the argument at all. But if you look at quarterback situations and what it took for Devontae Smith to get there, a guy who was in his 4th year at Alabama, getting into a starting role, and who got to start at the end of the last year and start in a bowl game, and then take an offense with one of the best play callers in the game, right? Smith does not have that coming into this next year. You know, they saying like, we know what a talent saying could be because he was here for a minute, but it's also his first year starting. If you're a wide receiver trying to win the Heisman, that's probably not your best situation for a guy who hasn't started any games for you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's totally different from a Ty Simpson who's been in the system for a while and that you know. So that's the only reason why I would go against Smith. But is he the number 1 wide receiver in college football? Absolutely. And I don't even think that's a question.
Yeah, so. for sure, man. You won't argue with me over here, you know. And you mentioned about Devontae Smith winning a Heisman. Mac Jones. Look who's throwing the ball. Mac Jones had been there 4 years. So there you go. And now you got Ty Simpson who's playing the Mac Jones role, and you have, you know, another great wide receiver out there, him throwing the ball. And if he goes crazy, we could possibly see that. Maybe he gets in the top 5, but right now we're looking at quarterbacks. This is a quarterback award, unless you're Travis Hunter, which he was an outlier. He played both sides of the ball. It's no argument there. And Herb, you made a great point about the brand. It's a popularity award, of course, and you got the brand. Now, Coach Prime put Colorado on the map, you know, brought all the pizzazz and the BET awards to the sideline and all the players and everybody, and they did a great job last year. He did great. Travis Hunter was the best player in college football. He showed he played both sides of the ball, so he deserved that. But then you had Ashton Jeanty come in from little old Boise State. But look at the numbers he put up.
Right.
So you putting up crazy numbers like Jeanty did, yes, you're going to be in the Heisman discussion. And if he would have won the Heisman, let's say Boise State would have went undefeated and been in the playoffs and probably won, you know, he probably would have won the Heisman if they would have went undefeated with those numbers. Right. So, I mean, you can look at it.
By the way, they played Oregon that year. If they had gone undefeated and Oregon was one of those, that's why I always, when people are asking why you're picking certain names, schedule matters.
Yes, sir.
Boise State playing Oregon, and like you saying, going undefeated, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and you hardly ever see a Heisman Trophy winner lose 3-4 games. I mean, you saw it when the Travis Hunter, Lamar Jackson won the Heisman. Lost 4 games. Yeah.
Then Johnny Manziel, I think.
Yep. So
the fact that you can name almost everyone that did tells you it don't happen that often.
It don't happen. No. You got to be in a top program and you got to have a great season. So a lot of things come into play. But yes, can an SEC player win the Heisman? Absolutely. And I like those 3 names you mentioned: Nussmeier, Arch, and Sellers. I like those names. I think everybody will probably have those 3 in their top 5, top 6 when the season starts, and we'll be keeping an eye on those guys as the season progresses. So that's there right there. I would love for a player out of the SEC to win the Heisman because you know we love Bama, but we love SEC as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got some questions in the chat. We're gonna get to it, man. It's been a great show. I love the audience participation from you guys. Even Chris Williams, shouts out to him. He back. You know, we missed you, Chris. Yeah. He talked with a little sense when he's not talking Auburn.
Yeah, that's I like this, Chris, man. I can roll with this, Chris.
Yeah, we roll with that.
Which, by the way, Chris, we having an Auburn person on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central. So E2C Network's coming on if you want to come and have some backup for them.
That's what's up. Good plug right there. All right, we got some audience questions. Pull up the first one. Let's get to it. Okay. Cat. We love Cat. Let's be honest. What is driving guys to Auburn? The hope of making the playoffs.
Cat.
Come on, Cat. Chris Williams, can you answer that for us, bro? What? So this is the thing, right? This is a great question, though, Cat. Great question. What is driving players to go play for Auburn? You're not competing for a national championship. You're barely competing for the playoff spot. Matter of fact, first of all, have a winning season. Win 9 games. Yeah. Win 9 games. Because if we look at Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, I always bring up Lane Kiffin because he is one of those coaches that's been at Ole Miss and he wins 9 games every season, doesn't make the playoffs, but he's not on the hot seat. Hugh Freeze, you winning what, 7 games, and did they go 7-5?
No, they missed the bowl game, so what was it, like 5-7 last year? Yeah,
I done gave them 2 extra games. Anyway, okay, make a bowl game, Auburn. All right, so this is what Auburn should be focusing
and
on.
not the Birmingham Bowl again.
Make up, yes, 8 wins. We're gonna put 8-4 on Auburn. That's not bad. You go 8-4, then next year maybe you can compete for the playoffs. But right now, I don't think competing for the playoffs is gonna drive anybody to Auburn, Cat. No. That's the answer to your question. And if any Auburn fans will agree, and Chris will say because the history, the tradition to walk on sacred ground. You mean walk on a cow pasture? If you call it sacred ground?
If I was making a pitch, I would say, look, Auburn gets guys to the NFL, right? You got a chance to play Alabama and Georgia every year. So there's a chance to make your mark. And then, Bama didn't want you, so why not come to Auburn? You'll have to leave the state. That's my recruiting pitch.
Hey, that's a great recruit pitch. Oh, you say Bama didn't want you? Okay. Well, come on over here, and we're going to beat up Big Bro.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Herb makes a great point. One of the biggest selling points that Hugh Freeze can offer is we can get you to the NFL, especially if you're a defensive player, regardless of how we've been producing on the field. That's one thing that has remained constant. We are getting players defensively to the league. Offensively, not so much. But then your counter argument from other teams can also say, yeah, we'll get you there in the first round. We'll get you there in day 2. We'll get you there pretty early. But the biggest obstacle they're facing right now is uncertainty in terms of coaching staff. A lot of these players that are being recruited don't have the certainty that Hugh Freeze will actually be there the next year or the year after or the year after that. So what exactly can be sold at this point other than, hey, we got Yellowwood money, come over here and get some of this? But at the end of the day, money is not going to translate to wins on the field. We've seen what happened at Texas A&M for 2 to 3 years consecutively, and all it resulted in was Jimbo Fisher being run out and all those players leaving. So that's a very good point, though. What exactly is the selling point right now?
Yep. By the way, his buyout was $75 million. Mine for here is 75 cents. Justin offers it to me every week, but I'm holding out, so that's why y'all stuck with me for right now.
Hey, great job holding out, boy. You being strong. I like it. But that was a great question, Kat, because we could have had a whole segment on that. That's a great question. What else we got, man? What other questions we got? Tough as nails. Thank you for joining us. Do you think this Bama offense will play fast or play a more traditional pace? Ooh, that's another good one. Herb, what you think?
I think because he wants to balance out the offense with running, you're going to see a more traditional pace. But Grubb is known as one of the best adjustment makers in the game. So if he sees an opportunity to play fast, this team will play fast. So I definitely think traditional start because we're going to get the running game going. I think a lot of times people think, we've got all these great wide receivers. We just going to throw it all over the place. Most of those teams that you see do that have some semblance of a running game just to keep the defenses honest. So I'm going to say traditional, but if Grubb sees an opportunity, he's going to take it. So
yeah, I agree with you on that. And, playing fast, you can play fast and have a great running game. And we just spoke on Auburn. Auburn teams, when they play fast and they run the ball very well when they play fast. And that's how you wear down defenses. So we can run the ball, get first downs, go to 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1, hurry up, get back on the ball. That's a win because you're getting the running game involved. You're making the offense balance because if you stack the box and you got Ryan Williams out here and Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton out, you got 3 out wide and you got 8, 9 in the box, we finna go to the house. So
it's over with them.
That's what I'm saying. So yes, if we run the ball like Bama runs the ball, like we should run the ball, this will be a explosive offense. So I think it will be a traditional fast-paced offense. What else we got? Eric D, KJ Ford wanted to come to Bama, but Bama ain't matching his NIL. I don't necessarily agree with that. But if you got some intel, I mean, what you thinking, Herb? I don't know about this one.
Just by some of the chats I was in, it seemed like there was an outside shot, but it definitely seemed the money. And I think Bama, it's kind of like what Stephen M said. Courtney Morgan said, look, there's certain players or certain spots we're planning on using our money, and Ford, wasn't one of those spots. That didn't mean anything about him as a player, but when you have, it's kind of like in the NFL draft and you've got your draft board, you need to stick to it. Bama was like, this is where our money's going. Just look, we listened to Uncle Hugh Freeze and he told us we need to do things the right way. So we try to allocate our money in the right way to our team. So thank you, Uncle Freeze, for helping us out. We couldn't go after Ford because we got other places where our money's going to be spent. So
yeah. Yep. And it makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of people got really excited. You saw a lot of eyeballs on Twitter, a lot of hearing things and stuff like that for about a day and a half. And then when Friday came, you start seeing alligators. So, I mean, that's what happens. When the word gets out, the word spread like wildfire. So, yeah, I mean, if they matching NIL, we ain't matching the NIL, that's fine. I mean, we good. We good.
Yep.
So we trying to get tanked. So I understand why we didn't get KJ Ford and
Chris Williams making that point. Are you sure this is really Chris Williams? He making that same point.
Yeah. Well, I think Chris Williams on his meds tonight, so he talking with some good sense. What else we got? What's the next question? Toughest Nails got another one. Is there a big time agent in college football that all the players are using, such as Scott Boras? I don't know.
The biggest name is Jimmy Sexton, but he represents just as many coaches. Yeah. And he's part of the CAA, and they represent a lot. But as far as locking down agent information, man, that is tough. You almost have to go player by player. Honestly, a lot of the families are still involved.
That's
in
true.
The players, stuff. So, but Sexton seems to be like one of the biggest agents out there still, and his agency.
That's true. And then you got other you got A&P, you got other agencies out there that's getting players, that's pretty much negotiating NIL deals with these players. Right. Not negotiating per se what schools to go to. We're negotiating your NIL deals. So it's a difference. You sometimes you have like the parents, and you will want your parents to be hands-on and collaborate, because your parents and the coaches have to have a bond. And we mentioned that earlier. And the players, you gotta want to go to the school, and you gotta like the coaches. But as far as the NIL deals and stuff like that, yeah, you kind of want to have your agent, because you're dealing with outside sources. You're dealing with a lot of money here. So you want to do the right thing when it comes to that, and not just sign your so-called college career away. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. What else we
Nico?
got? Yeah, exactly. Another one from Toughest Nail. Nussmeier, Manning, and if Pavia gets Vandy in the playoffs, will be my long shot. Are you talking about Heisman contenders?
Yeah, that's his top three.
If Pavia gets
Vandy in the playoffs, they're gonna build a statue of that man. So and yes, the Heisman would absolutely be his. I just don't see it happening. So
hell no. That would be something though, right? That would, if Vandy makes the playoff,
I'll say this. Similar to Lamar Jackson, if Vandy won 8 games, if they get to 8
and he goes crazy,
he got a hit outside shot. So he'd be in the conversation.
First time I heard that name came up in the Heisman talk. So shouts out to you, Toughest Nails. But if he goes crazy, 4,000 plus yards, 30 plus touchdowns, not many interceptions, and they go 8-4, possibly, but it's a long shot.
Yeah, very long shot to me.
His chances of winning the Heisman are shorter than the amount of minutes the WWE gave to Bill Goldberg last night for his farewell address.
No.
Oh man, and that was sad too, bro. They gave Goldberg 30 seconds for retirement speech.
You have to go to find the rest of the speech. Says, hey, if y'all want to hear the rest of what he said,
yeah. What else we got? Another one from Eric D. Kublik ain't winning nothing. Ryan Williams will win if Ty Simpson can deliver the ball. We hope so. We hope for the best for our team. We hope Bama. But this is another thing too. What if Bama goes undefeated? What if Bama putting BTA to everybody? And Ryan Williams got 1,800 yard receiving, 17 touchdowns. Yeah, for sure. But it's going to be difficult because of all those quarterbacks out there. What if Ty Simpson goes crazy? He will be in the Heisman conversation as well. So, yeah.
The Bama wide receiver will hurt Ryan Williams also.
Yeah, that's true. The
last two wide receivers to win it, one was playing two positions, and the other one had arguably your best wide receiver on the team hurt that cleared away for him. So special circumstances. It's going to be tough for Ryan Williams.
And we definitely don't want nobody hurt. So
no, definitely not.
I would rather have all my guys healthy and not win a Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So here's another name. Zachariah Branch at Georgia. Yeah. I forgot he's at Georgia now.
Yeah, both the Branch brothers went over there. Because he returns kicks also, that would be your situation where a guy, has a chance to win. So that's a really good pick. I like that name.
Yeah, that's an under the radar name, Zachariah Branch right there at Georgia. Yeah. I literally forgot he went there. We got two more questions. What else we got? Chris Williams. Alabama just needs to focus. If they can get the offense going, it's going to be hard to beat them. This is an Auburn fan with some sense right here.
Blink twice, man, if you're being kidnapped. Like, are you okay, bro? Like, I'm about to do a wellness check. This is a great comment. Yeah.
Well, he used to have that Cam Newton profile thing, but he changed it up. So this may be another Chris Williams. But if this is the Chris Williams I know, this is the most sensible thing I've heard him say in months. You know what I'm saying? So
Chris, you come over for a drink, man. I like this Chris Williams.
Yeah, you come to the cookout. I like that. It's very straightforward right here. Very straightforward. Yes. And he also said something else in the chat that the offensive line, Bama's going to go as the offensive line go. The offense is going to go as the offensive line goes. The offensive line is the motor, all right? So if your motor knocking, you got some issues. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we run real smooth this season and we can just do what we do. But definitely, for sure, we got to focus in and take care of business. We got one more. Sharpshooters. What player are you guys picking to be the breakout star for this season? Ooh, boy.
You know who my favorite is.
Give me one.
I got one all. Yep. So, Risky, what I'm going to tell you is my favorites on both sides of the ball and who I think is going to go. So, Isaiah Horton on offense. I've said a million times I'm never going to deviate from that. I think he's got a great chance in this with Bernard and Williams taking up a lot of the attention. I think he's got great size, great ball tracking skills. I think he's going to thrive. And a prior connection with Ty Simpson. That's my guy on offense.
Okay.
Keon Sabb on defense. I already said, man, dude was already balling out before he got hurt. This man, played with a broken foot, finished the game, and then decided to come back and is part of the highest rated safety duo in the game. I think he's got something to prove this year. So, and it probably in a good competitive way. We all talking about Bray Hubbard. I think Keon Sabb is gonna say, "Hey man, I was still the dude before I got hurt."
Mm-hmm.
So, don't forget me. So those are my two guys. That's my offense and my defense.
Man, I like that. I like that a lot, man. So, man, let me think about this. Defense, I'm gonna go James Smith, man. I'm gonna go James Smith. Gumptown boy, Carver 334. I think this is his time to shine. This defensive line is gonna have a lot of depth, right? You got a lot of depth on this line, but somebody got to step up and be the alpha dog. We know Tim Keenan is, that guy, but I think James Smith, if he starts and he gets to playing very well, it's gonna be hard to keep him out the game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for James Smith to be an impact breakout player for the defense. Now, offense, I'm gonna go Richard Young, man. I'm gonna go Richard Young, and I know Jameer Miller is probably gonna start. Most likely he's gonna start, but Richard Young is probably 1B in that backfield.
I agree.
I think he's gonna break out. He's gonna have some great games. And if we're gonna run the ball, like we mentioned, running the ball with some tempo, and you get Richard Young in the spell for Jam Miller, it could be hard for some defenses to get him down because this boy is a tank. He's a tank. He's going to be hard to break down. I'm looking at Richard Young this year to be a great breakout star on offense if he gets that opportunity.
I like it.
Yep. I see Abdul Sanders and Chris Williams. Look at Chris Williams. He cooking. I like that Abdul Sanders.
I like the Hubbard and the Jalen Hill. And I think the tribal chief had Rico Scott, Daniel Hill, and Justin Hill. So,
yes. People forget about Justin Hill on defense.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And Rico Scott, that's an underrated name that's waiting to break out. So good picks. Good names by everybody out there too, man.
Yes,
Hubbard, Jalen Hill, like you said. Yeah, I like the picks.
Yeah. And let's not forget, I wanted to say Dijon Lee.
Yes.
As a freshman.
That'll be your freshman breakout star.
That'll be your freshman guy, Dijon Lee. Y'all pay attention to him. He's going to get a lot of playing time on that defense.
Agreed.
All right. So
that's
it, man. That's it. It's been a great show, man. Like I mentioned early on, JT couldn't be with us tonight. He will be back next week. We had Steve and them coming in for a good little 10 minutes. Good talk with Steve and them. Tribal Chief popped in here and there. So y'all follow us, man. Herb, tell the people where they can follow you.
So Herb and Raj podcast, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. And you said we also stream right here on the Bama Standard Network. You don't have to go far to find us. The E2C network, Auburn guys are coming on Tuesday night, so we can talk Auburn. Hugh Freeze is actually media days on Tuesday, so if he adds any more fuel to the fire, we'll talk about that as well. Chris Williams, definitely hope to see you there. But hey, I want to see some Auburn fans. I want to, and of course, all the Alabama fans. Should be fun that night. So that's where you can find us at Herb and Raj podcast.
Yes, sir. They do great content, man. Shouts out to the guys. Shouts out to Raj too, in the chat somewhere. You can find me, man, Sports Talking with JB. Right there, you see it. That's the logo. Go to YouTube, subscribe to Sports Talking with JB. We about to crank up for August for the football season. I got some surprises, got some special guests lined up. I got a show for Alabama State. For all my Hornet fans, ASU, Big Bama State, Black and Gold show is coming back. I got a new co-host. I won't say who it is, but it's going to be great. Former player. Also, you can find me here Sunday night talking Bama with the guys. JT, Herb, me, Stephen M. Smith is going down. So it's been a great show tonight, man. We thank everybody for joining us. Everybody in the chat. It's been real. It's been awesome. With all that being said, y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shouts out to Title Towel and Roll Tide.
Won't give a piss about nothing but the time.
Nothing but it, baby.